I'm here for you for this interview. Basically, I had breast cancer, stage 2B. I actually discovered the lump back in February, and March is when we acted on it. We did a mammogram in, I believe it was the end of March, beginning of April, and it came back inconclusive. So they did a biopsy in Dr. John Serranto's office. That test came back inconclusive again. So then I had to do a needle core biopsy, and they did in fact find cancer cells in the lump. I had to do another test and an MRI to find out if it traveled. And he said if it did in fact travel, he said the next step would be a mastectomy. So that was like going through my mind. First was going through my mind, okay, that I had cancer. And when you think about that alone, you can't really think about much other than you have it. You think that your life is over. You know, you think about your kids, you think about your family, you think about your friends, you think about everything. You know, you don't think about the possibility of it going away or you being able to recover it and end it. So, of course, the first thing I did when I was told that I had cancer, I was at work. I actually called him, and he told me that it was malignant, that we had to do more testing. And he said, "Are you okay?" And I said, I'm fine. I said, I set myself up for both bad or good news. And he said, it's not life-threatening. It doesn't mean you're going to die, and it doesn't mean it's not curable. He said the next step is to find out if it's spread, and of course that's what we did. Well, that day I went home, but before I did go home, I was thinking in my mind, oh God, I'm going to die. What am I going to do? I'm thinking about my funeral. I was thinking about my kids. It was tough. It was so hard that I kept saying, no, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to beat this. And I put Bad to the Bone song on. That sounds funny, but I put that song on to keep me going, to keep me pushing forward and making me tough, basically, to beat this, to go to that next step, to find out, you know, what more I had to do. Well, we did the test. The MRI came back. I did a third biopsy, and he said, you have no other choice but to remove the breast. Otherwise, it'll spread more, and it'll end up in the organs, you know, heart, the lungs, your brain. So, of course, that was what I was going to do, was a mastectomy. So, we did the mastectomy August 3rd. We did some film, right? We did some film inside the hospital, and the kids were with me. And matter of fact, I said some things to my Facebook friends during that time. You know, I was just telling them I'll be okay, I'm going to make it, and we're going to do this. So we did the mastectomy. They rolled me into the room, and they had this morphine machine up, and I was saying, yeah, they're telling me how to work the morphine machine. There's a little yellow button to push, and I go, oh, this is good. So I pushed the yellow button, and lo and behold, it didn't work. So I was like, oh, this is not good. We're going to feel all the pain now. And I had like 10 visitors, right? It was a new wing in the regional hospital, and I had 10 people there, and all I could do was laugh. And I was laughing so hard, I was saying, I'm going to have an 8-pack by the time this is over with. So the nurse is changing the morphine machine, right? And I'm just like, I could feel the pain now, right? I didn't have no pain medicine. It was going on, what, 20 minutes, 25 minutes without the morphine. And everybody was around me, my friends and my family, and they're watching it. And she finally got the morphine machine in, and I went, let's see if it works. So I pushed the button, and I went, this is good, you know, because finally the pain went away. So they give you, I actually taped that too. So I have tape of what they have is tubes, the pods, I call them the tubes. What is it? Drains out any excess blood or whatever's in there. And I had to wear that for 2 weeks. Now if you have a double mastectomy, you have 4 of those. You have 2 pods here and 2 pods here. I just had the 2. I went home the next day, and my mom stayed here with me for 2 weeks during that time. And after that, after the 2 weeks, we got removed the pods, and then that's when they put the metal port. They put the metal port in I want to say February, and then I started chemo in September. And I did 8 sessions of chemo every other week, and then after that it was radiation every single day for 33 days. And I had to drive the kids to daycare and drive all the way to San Jose, which was like a 45-minute drive, and then I would go to work, pick up the kids, do it again in the morning every day for 33 days. And then they moved closer to me. Now you move. After I had to drive 45 minutes away every day. But anyway, it is hard. Breast cancer, any cancer, is difficult. It's not just the cancer. It's trying to get the disability checks. It's trying to get the food in the house. It's trying to keep your job. It's trying to keep your relationship. It's knowing who your friends are. It's knowing who the ones that really care about you. There's people that were there for me every day, and then there was people that just disappeared. And part of me thinks it's because they were scared of what could happen. You know, you don't want to know. You don't want things to happen to the one you care about. And part of me thinks that they know that I can handle it, and I'm doing a good job, you know, thus far. But to sum it all up, it's the person inside that does it. It's all the person inside that beats the cancer. If you don't have that, endurance, you don't have that positiveness, your mind, I always say mind over matter. If you don't have that, you can't beat it. And yeah, you're gonna have lows and you're gonna have highs. And you know, I've had my low just yesterday, and it just takes one thing to set it off. You know, the nurse that helped me, she was typing in, asking me questions, and you just could feel it. I felt the vibe. I felt it in her voice. I felt it in her body language that she didn't even want to take care. She like I was bothersome to her. And I told her, you know, if I'm bothering you, if I'm upsetting you in any way, let me know now, because I'll get up right now and I'll get another nurse. I said, you have no idea what I've been through. And she didn't. She just looked at me. She says, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was doing that. I didn't know I was acting that way, or I was upsetting you. I go, no, you didn't know, and that's why I'm letting you know now. So she said, I'm just asking you questions that need to be asked. And so she just, you know, she just went on being still the way she was. She obviously didn't get what I was trying to tell her. So I ended up waiting in the waiting room with my kids, and they were hungry, and I finally just got up and said, I'm not going to wait. I got up and I told her, I don't want to wait anymore. I'm just going to leave. I need to feed my kids. And it was because of the way I was treated is what made me change my mind.
How do you want to be treated?
Just with fairness and careness. I want to be treated with fairness and careness. Just like a human being, not someone who just came off a conveyor belt, you know, oh, next, you know, and that's sometimes how it is in the medical field. Even in the radiology, I mentioned, because they see people every day and they don't know, and the people that were going there don't speak English. And I kind of like spoke for them, and I said, I know you guys have a time schedule. There's like 5 people in the waiting room, and you in and out, only takes like 3 to 5 minutes. But I felt like I was being rushed and in and pushed out. And I told them, you know, it's hard enough for me to drive here every day for 45 minutes. But to be treated like nothing is another thing. I mean, we have feelings. And there's people here that they don't speak English that aren't going to tell you. But I'm telling you right now, you have to treat people with some type of care. Because if you don't feel that care, then how are you going to deal with your treatment when you go to the same place every single day? You know, and he was, Dr. Doe, I told him about it, and I told the nurse, and they were glad that I did tell them, and it did get corrected and it did get fixed, and now we have a good relationship, and I know that the patients probably feel better too. It's important, very important to patients to be, I mean, just a simple, how are you doing? How's everything going? Is everything okay? You know, that's all it takes. Well, the first thing a cancer person, when you tell someone that has cancer, it'll be all right, it'll be okay. There's a lot of things out there that'll cure it. When someone's first told cancer, they don't hear that. Honestly, that part they don't hear. Because we're in shock, first of all, when we're told that we have cancer. The best thing to do is, we're here for you. We will be there for you. You need anything, we're just a call away. You know, just things like that, because yeah, there are cures out there. There are new things that they have found for cancer to be curable. But again, when somebody's first told that they have it, I didn't think about what could cure it. I didn't think about anything. I didn't know what was going to happen. No one knows. Everyone's cancer is different. When it comes to breast cancer, there's 5 stages of breast cancer, and some have it in both. Some have it, the lump in one. Some just have a lumpectomy. Some just have the mastectomy. There's so many different types of surgeries. Some choose not to have reconstruction. Some do. You know, there's different steps for every woman. Every woman's going to feel different. And some women don't even go through it. Some stopped chemo, stopped the radiation because it burned their skin or whatever. So they just didn't want to tolerate it. Some of them, I hope to say that I helped them get through it and do the chemo, because if it helped me, I helped them, they helped me, and I helped them, vice versa. Because we know we're all in it together. All these women that I share my stories with, all these women that help me get through the next day, I'm helping other women get through that next day. And the families too. I mean, it affects families more because they don't want you to see them unhappy that you're going through this. And but on the flip side, they still want to help you any way they can. And my family did. They were really, really good. They did a lot for me. My kids did a lot for me. Lorenzo, Lana, they were there. I mean, they were like angels. And that's most of the reason why I fought, because of them and my family and a lot of close friends. It takes a lot of encouragement, definitely. And of course I pushed myself to do it too. Words, songs, all that, it helps.
If you could change cancer's name, can you think of something that you would change it to?
Yeah.
Maybe,
He knows. We would change Cancer's name to
Why
Power.
don't you come sit on your mom just for a minute and talk about it?
What would you change it to?
Yeah, come on around front.
Come over here. His name.
I'll change Cancer's name to Good Luck Charlie.
Good luck, Charlie.
Yeah, if he dies, you're good.
Wait, Charlie. The weird why he says Charlie is because my lump I called Charlie. And Charlie's gone. Remember?
Yeah.
And that song Smile, Charlie Chapman is the one who sang that song, well, originated that in the beginning. It all kind of flows together the way I did. I don't know how it came about, but it just happened that way. And I used to say on Facebook, oh, that Charlie, he's trying to get me. Him and his friends are having a party. Well, they forgot to tell me that they were having a party and they invited friends. I said, well, we're going to have to bust this party and end it. And we got rid of Charlie, the lump, and his friends. And that's why we said, good luck, Charlie. Right? Good luck, Charlie's gone now. But yeah, they're...
Thank you, sweetie.
Well, Cancer, it's not really a bad thing if you can change its name to a positive, like power, courage, there's all kinds of strength. There's got to be a good, strong name for that, though. You have to think of Cancer as something that's going to be coming good out of it. For me, it definitely made me wiser, stronger. It made me realize how much, and still how much, things can change. How much things can change and how people can change around you because of your cancer. I'm in remission now. I don't have it, which is good. So my battle is half over. Now I just have to do the reconstruction surgery, but I still am out there for others, for, let's just say, a breast cancer advocate. You know, if there's anybody out there that needs help, I'm more than willing to be there for them, to help them, to push them to do their treatments, to take those pills. For me, it was the tamoxifen I was taking, but that tamoxifen can really alter your mind. It really can change your mood swings. It could change your eating habits. It changes more than that. It changes the way your skin looks. You could get blotches from that. Everyone, it affects different. So now I'm to choose whether to keep taking that or to have a hysterectomy, or a shot and another form of a pill. I think it's called Amarex or something like that. There's like 3 or 4 different pills out there that you could take in substitute of tamoxifen. Why I chose positive words for cancer, because it made me push for wellness, I guess. It made me want to make it better, get through it, push to that next chemo session, push to that next radiation, to push to that next shot that I'd have to take. Because after every chemo, the very next day you have to get a shot to regulate the cells. And then every other Friday, which it was for me, you have to get your blood drawn to make sure your cancer cells were even. So it's a lot of needles were involved. And you can't say, oh, here we go again. Oh, I'm gonna get poked again. For me, it was all positive thinking all the time. Of course, I had my down days, and I definitely had bad chemo days where there was 11 days I couldn't eat. And there was a time where when I first did chemo, the first time I did chemo, 8 hours to be exact after I did it, I was in the room. I had the pillow. I was in fetal position, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs in the pillow because it hurt so bad. The best way to describe chemo for me that first time was, it was like motion sickness. It was like the flu, being hungover. It was food poisoning. All that all in one. All those plus you have cramps, you have acid indigestion, and you feel like you're gonna vomit. It just sticks to you right here. So the best thing I could do was scream into a pillow. And then he walked into my room and said, Mama, he said, are you gonna die? You know, because he was concerned, and I said, no. He said, no, Lorenzo, your mom's strong. I'm not going to die. I'll get through this. And at that day forward, I just said, no, we can't do this no more. You know, I had to push myself to get better. I drank a lot of water. I drank a lot of blueberry juice, cranberry juice. I took a lot of vitamins and just kept pushing forward to the next, preparing for the next chemo. So it's tough. It's hard. Wasn't it?
Yeah. I think she's really brave because every time she had chemo or something else, she would always know positive. Nothing would happen to her, I think.
Oh, he's my inspiration right here. This little boy here. He's got he's got a big heart. Big heart. And Lana, she's got a big heart too, in a different way, because you know kids are different that way. But she's the one. I'm gonna kick cancer's butt. She's